I'm gonna be making a very important video about a very important topic. I'm desperate. I'm actively searching for younger people to be in a relationship with. And it is ridiculously embarrassing to admit this, but...
Oh my God, bro. Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man?
Colleen Ballinger, who's facing the music. The 36-year-old internet star has found herself embroiled in controversy as of late after being accused of grooming underage fans.
Popular Twitch streamer Dr. Disrespect was under fire for some very serious allegations.
Chris Tyson of the Mr. Beast crew had a ton of evidence surface about horrible behavior with how they communicated with minors, as well as a past of really disgusting shit.
Desperate.
From Chris Tyson's Discord servers to the R. Kellys and P. Diddy's of Hollywood, this obsession is everywhere. People all around the world are getting exposed for inappropriate behavior with minors. The girl's a minor. Some are getting handled, while others focus on their mental health. I got a lot to say on this matter, so buckle up and let's get started. Or maybe we should stop. As a verb, stop is defined as coming to an end, cease to happen. It's one of those words that you can use without having to over-explain. However, just because a word is used does not mean it's obeyed. People often say they want to stop complaining, procrastinating, worry, but continue to do so the moment after. Some people can't help themselves either, especially since everything is so easily accessible. Oh, and there was one thing I left out of my example list that people won't stop. The internet. Now, I won't go into a tangent whether it's good or bad, but I will say it's probably in the top 2 of the hardest things to stop using. It's free, accessible, and necessary if we're keeping it real. Now, it's common knowledge that people make the internet possible, and those who play their cards right grow and live most of their life out as an adult. But for some very, and I mean very odd reason, a percentage of those adults spend their time looking out for the youth, if you know what I mean. And the tune never changes. It's always the ones with the wife and kids bundle pack. Rich, famous, you name it. It's kind of worrisome to think how out of hand this may have been before the internet. And I'm not gonna lie, I use the internet all the time. I basically live and breathe it. And I ain't got no shame in it either. On that same note, however, I'm starting to see that shame may be the last things on the minds of these minor lovers. Take Karl Malone, an all-star example. Speaking of the time he got a 13-year-old pregnant. Just last year, he bluntly stated that he didn't care. That it's his life, his personal life. So I was like, whatever. That's cool, I guess. But Karl Malone was 20 years old. In fact, it's not cool. That girl was 13 years old. I don't know about y'all, but a minor is a minor is a minor. I'm not aiming to change the world with this video. I'm just sick of this behavior. I'm being greeted by a YouTuber, celebrity, or some influencer diddling with kids when I'm on the web. It's starting to get unclear on the documents that are blending in, acting like they never looked twice at a teenager while sexing them on Twitch. The last 2 references came from the Double D's, Drake and Dr. Disrespect. And rather than analyze their actions, I want to approach this from a different angle. That is the concept of the public figure. It doesn't take much to qualify nowadays, but if we're being specific, then think on the lines of a celebrity or influencer. What comes with this is usually fame and money. Some use what they get to build houses, wells of water for people in need, and devote their lives to bring a lively experience for people that'll remember it for decades. These folks exhibit genuineness, exaggerated swagger, and all in all, just good people doing good things for goodness sake. Then there are those who do things that contribute nothing to society. Botox, filler, BBLs, overdone tattoos. But as long as they're not hurting others, I could care less. Now, the people that I would care about, though, is the worst of the worst. You see, these kind of people are worse than the BET skit of Kamala acting like she's from the hood. Or the time that she was acting like she was from Atlanta. If a celebrity or individual does... I'm sorry, y'all. She really tried this. It just broke me out my script right now. Yo, run the clip real quick.
Madam BP, I know you've been traveling across the country. What are you hearing?
Yeah, girl, I'm out here in these streets. And let me tell you, you're right, Taraji.
Anyways, if a celebrity or any individual does this, it could be career-ending. Drum roll, please. Yeah, forget the drum roll. You guessed it. It's pedophilia. Oh, and bonus, domestic abuse. Now, with discussing sensitive topics such as these, the first thing to note is the situation as whole may not be black and white. Maybe money's tight. or there's a relationship going on for years. But nonetheless, there's usually an offender and an offended. Now I'm gonna take y'all back to 2009 with the case of Chris Brown and Rihanna. To put it pumping plain, CB beat the living breaks out of Rihanna back then. Like he went to town on her. It's like he thought, yeah, February, the month of love, so I'ma paint your face red. I joking, okay? I love Rihanna. I'm gonna go see Chris Brown too, okay? But let's keep going. Now, Chris Brown's actions were clearly wrong, but Rihanna also played a part in the altercation. And to be clear, I don't condone hitting women. But if you hit like a man, you gonna get dealt like one. Where's all that talk for equality? If it wasn't for topic and time's sake, I'd delve deeper into the impact of domestic abuse. Cause I ain't even get to how it affects children who witness it or are otherwise involved. So if y'all want a deep dive on that topic, let me know in the comments. Unlike domestic abuse, inappropriate relationships with minors are not always straightforward. On one obvious hand, any sexual romantic involvement with a minor is morally and legally wrong. Unless you're Sneeko, he gonna think you can marry at 15 or something. He on one. However, nothing in this world is black and white. This is mostly due to societal norms and cultural attitudes towards these issues. For example, public figures sometimes get treated differently compared to the average Joe, and that's largely due to the fact that the average Joe doesn't have any parasocial demons watching them. A notable example is the 1993 case involving Michael Jackson. Despite being the iconic performer that he is, my boy unfortunately has to be brought up in this case because he faced allegations of inappropriate behavior with a minor. Long story short, the case was settled for $20 million, which many saw was a way to avoid further public backlash and legal battles. Now, even if he ain't physically harmed the child, the very fact that he paid such a large sum to settle the case is a red flag. Because last time I checked, 20 million is 20 million. This gesture might have been intended to protect his reputation, but it also highlights how celebrities can use their wealth to bypass real accountability. The situation got so bad to a point where the kid involved would be referred to as Michael Jackson's boyfriend. And the huge payday led to further strain on the relationship with the kid's family, and then he eventually disappeared from the public eye.
Jeez, Black Lightning, that was a lot to take in.
I know. But the truth of the matter is that it isn't only Michael Jackson. People like him constantly manipulate the system to protect themselves. And while fans such as myself occasionally sympathize or feel bad for a celebrity such as Michael, there's also people whose lives get turned upside down, and the lasting impact goes farther than just the headline. Same goes with the family afterwards in 2003, but they were obviously capping, so they don't even deserve a segment in this video. By the time this drops, we'll be on our 8th season of 2024. And I vividly remember Cat Williams saying that it'd be the year of truth. And honestly, he couldn't be more right. It's kind of pissing me off too, because I can't even finish writing the script without a celebrity or influencer getting freaking exposed as a PDF lover, PDF follower, minor lover. Seriously, is it that hard not to talk to children sexually instead of not looking twice at a teenager? These people are looking thrice. And now that I think of it, one of the biggest contributing factors that I believe led to this sick behavior is corn, aka adult content. The rabbit hole with infinite videos, categories, pretty much anything to tickle anyone's fancy. Black with black, white with white, men with women. And related with this video's category, the teen section. Now, before I go any further, I want y'all to hear this quote from Peak Education. The eye is the lamp of the body. So if your eye is healthy, your whole body will be full of light. But if your eye is bad, your whole body will be full of darkness. Clap it up. I bring that up to say that when people watch any kind of adult content, it's not just the eyes that are affected. The whole body is as well. That's why the year of truth phrase, to me, isn't just about exposing wrongdoing. It's about understanding the factors that led to such behavior. And I can't speak for women, but I know for most men, guilt, shame, and disappointment are frequent emotions felt when or after watching it. To put it in further perspective, it's like people watching people in an Adam 22 Nope Jumper manner, which then translates to real life situations, sexualizing, objectifying, or seeing women nothing more than a body bag for one's amusement.
Okay, Black Lightning, you're onto something, but what does that have to do with minors?
Well, you remember how I brought up the teens category. Yeah, some individuals let their twisted fetish translate into their real life. I can't say if it's to relive their glory days or if they're just straight up sick. Maybe both. What I will say is that this desire for minors didn't just come out of thin air. It starts in the mind. Every human mind at birth is blank. Everything is new, and senses are active. Along with that comes confusion and the need for caring. That's where parents come in, unless they don't. Anyways, as this new creation is raised, they start taking on beliefs and viewpoints in life. Whatever's internalized shows back up in who that creation becomes. If a child is raised in a toxic household with poverty beliefs, then he or she will have a pessimistic outlook on life, unlike the children who are raised to believe in their abilities and abundance. Regardless of who the child's caregiver is, it doesn't exclude them from warped sexual beliefs. Matthew 13:25 said it best. A good man brings good things out of the good stored up in his heart, while an evil man brings evil things out of the evil stored up in his heart. That being said, people who knowingly take innocence from a child are not only evil, but already had that evil in their hearts, long before the action.
But Black Lightning, doesn't everyone have evil in their hearts?
Yes. Yes, we do. However, it's about how you combat and balance it, rather than letting it consume your life. The verse I mentioned earlier addresses the duality on the two ends, showing that a person can only be good when the goodness of their heart is materialized and released. Sexualizing children or teens is no bueno, so it's evil. The crazy thing is that people continue to do so despite it being wrong, and get cold feet when their dirty laundry is in the air. Like, I started to use Twitter more, or X, and tell me why I done seen a video of Akon singing Locked Up while the police is arresting somebody getting, for pedophilia behavior. What is 2024? Now I'm gonna tell y'all what 2024 is with our next example, Chris Tyson. And yes, that's with the C. Fight me about it. Bro knew damn well what his age was when he was talking about some 14-year-olds always stay 14. Plus his special interest in CP. And if you don't know what CP is, it's basically children doing adult things behind closed door. Yeah, oh my gosh, so sick. When people like Chris or Shadman either partake in consuming or producing disturbing, disgusting content that involves children, it's clear to me that they're making a conscious choice to cross moral and legal boundaries. There is no Logan Pauling your way out with a lapse in judgment. No Tootsie sliding either. It's just gonna resurface as we are seeing. Now, class, what do we call that when someone does something that isn't right? Say it with me. You know what else is wrong is when minors actively seek out adults, lie about their age, or when the victim deletes messages. It's sick. Some take pride in it, and I don't see that shamed upon enough, so we gotta start shaming those kind of people. Disgusting. Nasty. Because when someone does that, they're also encouraging and enabling predator behavior.
So why do some victims wait until a controversy makes headlines before coming forward?
There's a lot to consider regarding why someone might delay speaking out. Fear trauma. But if you're only coming forward after the issue is trending, it does make your claim seem less credible. Take our latest recruit on Team PDF Files. Once again, Chris Tyson. He was recently accused for grooming by a Transformer individual. The X thread was divided, but some just called it flat out cap. Now, this person did go into detail, but it does just seem a little too convenient that someone comes out as soon as the situation is a hot topic. The same goes for the Michael Jackson case, and it's not the two that I mentioned before, it's actually one that happened after. Now, these allegations resurfaced nearly 15 years after his death, and we could thank Wade Robson and James Safechuck from Leaving Neverland. There was a segment in there where they basically got their mom just to explain to the viewer how she was turning up after Michael died. I stopped watching right then and there. If I was in their shoes, I might have thought, now that Michael's gone, I can finally speak up, but that's just me personally. It feels diabolical. Almost like the allegations are more for shock value and money rather than genuine concern. So after all this talk, what's the solution, one may ask? And it's simple. Avoid all inappropriate behavior with minors altogether. Just don't do it. Don't think of it. Don't think of it. That's all. Don't think of it, bruh. And for the people shamelessly loving on the youth, shame on you. Boom, boom. They not like us. 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 Hey Chris, you not like us. Hey Cody Cole, you not like us. Hey Chris freaking Tyson with a C. You are not like us, my boy. Hey Chris Tyson, not like us. You know that girl lies about her age. She's all come back. Even when I'm a little great. But you still not like us. You know what I'm saying? They not like us. They not like us. They not like us. Reincarnated. I will start dealing with kids. I'm freaking sick of it. It's disgusting!